Man, it's good to see you guys again, man.
Man, it's a pleasure, brother. You know it's a pleasure. Come on now.
Yeah,
man. I didn't want to ask on the show, but I was wondering, like, man, what type of kickback? Like, did you get a lot of? I got a lot of support, but I had, some people gave me some slack just for being just for being out there, man. It's like, yo, hey, wait a minute. You can't condemn all of us. Not all of us, went and did that nonsense.
Exactly.
Like, yo, chill out.
Well, and the other thing is that there's still a lot of Republicans out there, especially the older ones. And this is a huge problem that younger conservatives and younger progressives both deal with, is we don't realize, because we did not grow up in that environment, but I'm a big history buff. I love reading about history. I actually have a company that restores like old film footage and things like that. So I'm constantly diving into the 60s, the 70s, the 40s, the 50s. Yeah. And really post-war, we didn't have a lot of economic competition, and we invented all of the good political technology like radio and television. And in the 70s, people don't realize this, but in 1978, or 73, I can't remember which year, but in the 70s, do you know who the most trusted man in America was, Craig? Who was the most trusted man in America in the 70s?
What's his name?
It was Walter Cronkite of CBS News.
Yeah.
Like, and that's such a crazy thing for you and I to think right now, because you and I grew up knowing that, Fox News is for the right wingers and CNN fakes that it's middle ground, and, MSNBC is for the leftists, and they're all lying. One I trust a little bit more than others because at least it believes in a limited government model, but I can't take seriously what they say on NBC because, the second they see a red MAGA hat in the mix, they call it a white supremacist rally.
Yeah.
And so it's like you and I grew up in an era where people don't realize it, but sometimes the trust of the media goes down to as little as 11 to 12% in our era. Yeah. And do you know who those people are that are trusting in it still? The old boomers that watch it.
Exactly.
And so what happens is 10% is a huge chunk. And that 10% matters because it swings elections. Did you know that a majority of the people that voted for Joe Biden had not heard of the laptop scandal because it was censored? And over 10% of the people once polled said had they heard about the laptop scandal, they would have switched their vote. And the proof of that is that for almost a week after the early voting window had started, one of the highest trending questions asked on Google is how do I change my vote from Joe Biden?
I remember that.
And you don't think that wouldn't have covered the 3.5 million gap?
Right.
You don't think that wouldn't have covered
the
the 3.5 million gap?
Would have been the swing. It would have been the swing.
Yeah.
But it's just a censor of information. You said so yourself that these people that are still watching the news are boomers and whatnot, and then our new generation that's coming in, like Generation Z and obviously millennials like me, like myself. We don't watch the news. Right. So now
it's not that you don't watch the news. It's the way you consume it is not the legacy model.
Right.
There's two different Americas. Right. There's the old boomers. There's the old boomers that are turning on CNN and thinking, Don Lemon just informed me that if you voted for Trump, you're a white supremacist. I need to rethink my relationship with my neighbors. Yeah. And they actually believe it because they're coming from the era of I need to trust Don Lemon, and I need to trust who's the Vanderbilt? What's his name? White-haired guy, gay, but he acts like a stern Army drill sergeant whenever he's looking at the camera. Anderson Cooper, there we are. You know
Anderson Cooper,
yeah. They think Anderson Cooper is the modern iteration of Walter Cronkite, and they don't realize. No, you are being lied to. So you have
misleading the hell out of people.
Yeah. And this is my thing too. You made a good point too. And
I always do.
I know that. And so you're talking about this, and you go, okay, well, what about the new generation? What are they listening to? And obviously, they're getting their information from the internet and other news sources. Either alternative or platforms like you, me, everybody. The Hulk and stuff like that. But the censorship is taking us out. So now moving forward, they're going to get nothing but left indoctrination when they take us out. as they're taking us out.
Well, that's why
That's the censor. That's why they're censoring us because it's the source of information.
Well, I mean,
Yo, talk in the microphone too, so he can hear you.
Oh shoot!
Because don't forget, he can't go through.
That's
unless
true.
you
He
talk
sat
in
on the
microphone.
side
Yeah.
because he's the biggest, and we got to get him in the middle.
I said,
but he sat for an hour. He sat for an hour
with
on
this thing up my butt.
I think he's doing the yawn to try and put his arm around you right now. That's what I think is going on. You know.
Sorry. Hey, don't start that because we talked about prison on the show. And this big man,
Wait a minute.
Hey, wait a second. Wait a second.
Arm around me.
Hey, wait. Have all of us been to prison?
Huh?
Wait, Craig's been to prison. MAGA, you been to prison?
No.
I've been to juvie.
Dang it.
I've been to juvie.
You've been to juvie?
I've done hard time, man.
Hey,
remember
dude.
the DC snipers?
Yeah.
I did time with Levo Malvo.
Yo.
Oh.
Hard time, man.
Fun fact, I did not know that.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude. Hey, so what's wrong with you, MAGA? You haven't been to prison yet. You're the only one on this stream that hasn't been to prison
My
yet, man.
bad. Well, remember, I ain't black, so you know what I'm saying.
That white privilege.
Yeah, I got
That white privilege. You ain't going to no
Bro.
jail. You get
Yeah.
passes every time the police go by you with that MAGA hat on.
Like, yeah,
oh, you the MAGA Hulk?
You ain't black.
You
It's
MAGA
all right.
Hulk? Nah, you good.
pushing,
Keep
keep
pushing.
So
Keep
let me
pushing.
ask y'all this. So what's going on in California right now? You guys they still got you guys on the curfew and everything?
What's the deal with the curfew?
You know, he kind of doubled down and said that he was going to continue, but people are basically just not listening to him.
Just doing what
And right now, I just got done with Major Williams' event last night, and I was talking to Major Williams, the guy that's running for governor here, and we're at 1.1 on the recall, and all we need is 1.5, and he says we need it by March. And I've been talking to him. He says it looks like we're on track. It really looks like we're going to hit that 1.5 because we still have 2 months, and it's moving the way it is. And for the most part, I haven't seen any presence as big as Major when it comes to governor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And really, we're riding this angry wave to get Gavin Newsom out, and everybody in California that I've seen so far, they're just plain out listening.
I think a lot of people in California are tired of him.
Yeah, we know you
Yeah,
have no.
but dude, we all know conservatives leave because when you study the works of Jonathan Haidt, here's what you got to do. Socrates said, know thyself. And then Sun Tzu said, know thy enemy. So you really got to know yourself and you got to know your enemy. And I don't want to say that half of America is my enemy, but a certain ideology is. You can hate this sinner while still simultaneously. You can hate this sin while simultaneously loving the sinner. You got to read the works of Jonathan Haidt. About 10 years ago, he started trying to figure out where does this division that we're experiencing come from? And what he really found out is that people on the left, and by that I mean usually the liberal left, those people that self-identify as liberal, even though I would argue that a 1990s liberal is really a modern day Republican. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that argument aside, liberals generally approach from any argument from 2 of 5 positions. One of them is, how will this affect tradition? How will this affect my family? You know, is this something new? And usually liberals only care about 2 things: whether they're willing to experience openness and newness, and whether they think it appeals to justice being the key word. And that's why you'll get these crazy Bernie bros that are willing to like quit their jobs, go campaign for Bernie because they think they're going to get rid of their student loans anyway, because this will usher in a better utopian America. I mean, they don't realize that there's a massive price to pay of JFK's unintended consequences that conservatives saw coming, because they approach most questions and most arguments from 5 points. What are the long-term effects of this? You know what I'm saying? Does this respect or disrespect tradition? Is that tradition withholding? I can't name all 5 points that Jonathan Haidt put out exactly, but when you're dealing with a liberal, you're dealing with somebody that literally only thinks and is only firing on 2 out of 5 philosophical cylinders.
Yeah.
He's thinking about newness and a willingness to experience newness and justice. Those are the 2 things that go through a liberal's mind. Whereas a conservative...
the medulla oblongata part.
Well, the medulla oblongata actually is mostly aggression, I think it is. But yeah, I'm sure some neurosurgeon will probably
use the medulla oblongata.
It's the medulla oblongata.
Yes, indeed.
Medulla oblongata. We use our frontal lobe. We use our rationality.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and so there's actually an argument to be made.
I use both.
I don't like saying
You're an angry black man.
Yeah, I get my angry too. I be thinking rationally, but I be getting angry too.
Well,
I'll admit it. I use both.
Well, and there's I don't like the term intelligence by itself. But there's an argument to be made that I think
libertarian, man. You an independent libertarian. You sound like a libertarian, man.
Who, me or Carden?
Who?
Pardon.
He calling you out, brother.
Really? I think, well, no, there's some. I think modern conservatism is actually very libertarianism in its limited government model. I mean, so I think it's safe to say, like, Ron Paul was my boy. Like, one of my favorite...
I was Rand Paul and Ron Paul.
Yeah,
no, I was Rand Paul and Ron Paul.
So I don't take the libertarian accusation too bad. Sometimes libertarians go nuts. Like, their open border stuff is like, what?
Just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, like what is this, the Hunger Games? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like there's times where it's like, I am definitely a proud Republican. My family goes back to freaking Clara Barton, the founding of the American Red Cross. Like, in my blood, in my veins, is the blood of abolitionists dating back to the 1870s. Okay, so it's like, I'm not some descendants of slave owners. I'm descendants of slave freers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my grandpa fought the Nazis when he escaped Blitzkrieg as a 14-year-old boy. So I've been fighting fascism and I've been fighting injustice with my family for literally 200 years. So there's many aspects of me that are a proud Republican. However, like, republicanism at a certain extent is only a vehicle, because there's some things where Republicans go wrong. I think their social issues have cost them. I think them, you know, kind of, like, I always looked at it like, unless there's a legal problem with gay marriage, I'm not going to oppose it, because I don't want to oppose what some other citizen wants to do. Right. It's not until, like, for example, in California with Proposition 8, changing the Constitution to make it so that marriage was redefined as simply between a man and a woman, not expanded. Had they expanded the definition to say it can include, then I would have been fine with it. But when you change the definition, now there's nothing stopping you from marching down to a synagogue and telling the Jewish rabbi, you need to marry me and my boyfriend, or else you're going to lose your 501c3 status because you're not performing the civil service.
That's what they did.
And that's what they tried to do.
Well, yeah.
So it's like, I wouldn't say, you know, I don't bristle at the idea of being accused of being a libertarian. I'm not a pure libertarian, that's for sure, because those people are crazy, and it is the losertarian party, unfortunately, if we admit it to ourselves. But at the same token, I'm not purely Republican either, because there's places where I think Republicans have really gone wrong. And that's where Donald Trump actually, I think, was one of the most Republican presidents we had in a long time. Because look at him. He was like, oh, gay marriage, I don't care, whatever. Done. I'm focusing on making sure that gay Americans get money before Pakistan does in foreign aid, because we have an America First policy here. Yep. And it was his America First agenda that I think really attracted the working class.
You got it.
Because
you got it.
I do not believe. My father served a volunteer mission as a Mormon missionary in the late 70s in frickin' Detroit, Michigan. And if you want to know what Detroit, Michigan looked like in the 70s and 80s, go watch RoboCop. Like, that wasn't Hollywood. That was mother frickin' that's what the Detroiters lived every day.
I love that movie, by the way.
Yeah, great film. And you know what? I refuse to believe that, you know, a man like me who's mowing his lawn in Detroit or driving down the street. Sorry, let's just say I'm driving down the street in Detroit through one of these godforsaken neighborhoods that's experienced 50 years of decline. Do really the leftists think that as I see my Mexican neighbor, you know what I'm saying, mowing his lawn in front of his house, and I look to the left of me and I see the empty bottle factory, the empty steel mill, the abandoned school that I went to that no longer has funding, and I got to bus my kids 20 minutes away to the other one. As I'm driving down Main Street and I see all four of those things, does the left really think I'm pissed off about the Mexican guy mowing his lawn?
Right.
Like, well, what? No, he's mowing his lawn. His lawn's the only thing that looks good in the damn neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, I'm pissed off at the economic decline that's staring me in the face. The school I can't send my kids to, the steel mill my grandfather got let go from, and the glass factory that I got let go from as I now live on welfare. And so my only concern is that the reason why I say we're out for 7 years is because I think in 2022, there was a lot of leftists that ran, and a lot of that blue wave was because a lot of suburban women said, that's it, I'm running for school board. You know what I'm saying? And about a lot of leftists on those water boards and stuff like that are like, that's it, I'm running for state senate. And that mobilized a lot of leftists. I think 2020 No, sorry. No, in 2018, a lot of leftists got mobilized because in 2016, Trump won. I think in 2020, a lot of people like you and like Kick will get mobilized. I can hear everything you guys are laughing at, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. Hey, I don't know if you can see this. We were talking about this. This is hilarious, bro. I'm going to have to send this to you if I can pull it up right now. Hulk just saw it on my story, and he's just laughing his ass off right now. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to try my best to on the screen. Read this out loud if you can.
Wait, let it focus. There we are. Okay.
I can't believe my pillow and the host of The Apprentice are the last bit of sanity in a crazy world.
Yeah.
That's real. That's so real.
No, but even Mr. Pillow is
my pillow guy.
It's like he's gone down the rabbit hole, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, all the way. Freaking
And some
fantastic.
look, I'm with what's his name? Oh, his
Cardin,
name is-
you can call me tall, dark, and handsome.
What did you say?
No, you're tall,
Cardin.
light, and handsome.
I said my name's Cardin. You can call me tall, dark, and handsome.
Cardin. I said
Tall,
it earlier.
light,
It
and
slipped my
handsome.
mind just now. Like I'm with Cardin. Like some of the stuff is, I call it rabbit hole, but like some of the stuff that's going on that's where the Republican Party has gone wrong, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I don't think it's the Republican
Some of it,
Party.
I'm not going to be able to forgive them, man.
I don't
just
think it's the
not.
Republican Party. I think it's the people that were grifting.
Yeah.
It's
drifting.
Yeah,
You
they're
got
just grifting.
Linwood.
Yeah.
You got Linwood. He's drifting a little bit. Some of the stuff is a drift. You got Mr. Pillow has said some crazy stuff.
Oh, has he really? I didn't know. Has he said some nutty stuff?
He said, what did he say? He said, well, I mean, it wasn't necessary.
People said that he
but-
had those notes that had martial law written on there, but it
Yeah,
might
I
be he
saw
was
that.
just
I saw
asking
that.
a question, you know? I mean,
Like, dude, I really look. People are gonna get upset at me by this.
oh, I already am.
I'm telling you, I really hope there's something else there. If not, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Oh,
I
hey,
feel like they led me down
Hey.
the dirt road.
hey, you preach it to the choir, because I keep trying to tell my followers and like other people that I know, because a lot of them, people on our right side talk about Q and all that stuff, and I'm just like, guys, like there has been some good information, yes, but you guys got to remember, anything with anonymous sources, that's
That's no
itself-
different than Donald Trump being indicted as a Russian asset that was flipped in 1985.
There you go. And I'm
it's
saying,
just
and they go like, okay, well, this came accurate. This came out. I said, yes, okay, I get that. But here's the thing. This is what you call a honeypot. Because I experienced this back when Anonymous came out. Remember Anonymous with the little V for Vendetta thing? And I started following to make sure, like, they give you good information, but then it gets co-opted because they are anonymous, because you don't know the face. You don't have a face to the information. And you know what? I told people this. I said, if in 3 days, if Biden really sneaks it in and steals this election, we need to blame all the people like the Qs that have been putting us. Let's not forget the people that kept saying, believe in the plan, believe in the plan. We all believe and
Dude,
want.
we went down the dirt road with them, man.
Yeah, and did they set us up? Did they set us up?
Yo,
See
the
what I'm
way
saying?
I feel right now.
well,
is
I don't think everybody did, because for example, like I was
Not
excited.
everybody.
Yeah, not everybody.
I was excited about January 6th just because I'm like, hopefully these people will get the message when they see a bazillion people there. That
That's
you know,
what I was like. Like
Yeah.
we getting ready to show them we coming out in numbers that we deep.
yeah, and
This
I
is
was
what's
I
really
don't know a single person that went to the Capitol that was viewing it as anything more than just like, this is our last chance to show that we're not going away, that we are peaceful, but we are strong, and
Dude,
we're also
I
going to
had
party.
Nothing else other than that on my mind.
Yeah, it's like, and we're going to party, and this is like the last days of freaking Trump, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know a single
Dude, I
bad
don't know.
actor was like,
If you
I'm
listen
going
to
to
the
show
news-
them.
Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, if you listen to the news, it's completely something else. But
No,
that's my
actually
thoughts. Was
answer
like,
that.
look, January 6th is going to solidify where we're going with this thing. My whole thing is this: where I won't be able to forgive some of them is like, I feel like we've kind of been led down this dirt road, and everybody's waiting on this last thing. And it's like, why wait till the last minute? Let's drop it today.
Right.
We got 3 days left. Drop it now. Let's see. But we've been led down this dirt road, and it's like we're caught with our pants down now.
Craig,
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted
we
to-
got a jam.
Yeah,
I gotta get some food too. So
No, y'all can keep. No, I'm just saying I'm a roll out. You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
leaving.
I gotta.
I'm leaving too.
You know what I'm saying? I got a
Well,
hell of a drive.
if Carton leaves, then I gotta go. You know,
Yeah,
you know the
like-
saying. You know the saying. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the heck up
hell
out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what Carton said to me.
That's what he just
I
said.
love
Like,
y'all, man. Peace.